Hello. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, guys. If you are live, can you just drop a message in the chat so that I get to see? So today we'll be going over leveraging AI for superior proposals. So the idea of this is to equip you with the best practices for how to use or get the best out of AI to um, write craft proposals that would be very compelling, right, to clients and also to skills that can be extended to other areas as well. So if you are live, can you join? Can you just drop a message in the chat? Okay, hello. Yes, good morning. Thanks for joining. Just let me know. Can you hear me? Just I want to be clear, be sure you can hear me and you can see my screen. So just okay. Let me see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me and see my screen? Just I will get started once I get a response from you. All right. Well, thank you. So yes, so like I mentioned, I'll just get because we have a lot of things to do today. So I will just go straight to the business of the day. So like I was saying, so today I will be going over um, leveraging AI for superior business proposals, and the idea of this is to introduce you to advanced techniques or to work with AI for not just business proposals, right, but skills that can really make you get the best out of most of these AI tools, given that we have a lot of LLM, and that's large language models that are out there. So let's get straight to it. um yes, so like I said, so today we'll be going over, so these are some of the key issues we'll be discussing. So first, yes, AI in consulting, just go through an introduction in this, and then we'll just try to go over the basics of prompt engineering, right? So and then we'll just spend few minutes over this, and then we'll dive into how to craft irresistible prompts, or rather proposals, and then yes, optimizing the results we get, and then how to package these prompts for use, right? So let's go straight to that. Let's get to that. Yes, so before we get started, for those of you who haven't like who are meeting me for the first time, I'm Samuel Nnitiwe. I'm an AI engineer, and I have over 5 years experience building and integrating AI solutions for businesses, right? So uh, from no code tools to heavy code tools, and then also building models from scratch. And yes, I have two blogs. Sorry, I have two resources. So first, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I will be working on more content like this, so you can subscribe to this channel to stay updated with I'll be going over tutorials like this on how to use various AI tools to help you optimize various various tasks. And then also I have a blog where I will be highlighting that. So let's go. I'll be also be walking you through some AI concepts. So that's channeled for business and for developers as well. So if you can subscribe to both and stay updated. So yes. So let's get to this. Um, who of you? First of all, let me ask you: who has used? If you have used AI, for those on this chat, if you have used worked with AI before, you can just type in the chat and let me know. So have you, any of you, anyone who has worked with AI before, especially with let's say tools like ChatGPT, and if you have, can you just drop can you just highlight which tools you have worked with in the chat? Let's see them. So if you haven't worked with AI before, you can just let me know. I just want to have an understanding of what um, the audience or those of us participating in this meeting are conversant with. So if you have worked with any AI tools, you can just drop yes and then the tools you have worked with. Okay, thank you. Yes. So yeah, okay. So which tools? Okay, I can see yes. So which tools have you worked with? Just briefly drop in some, and because I'll be introducing you to some other tools today. I just want to just have an idea, so I will have a slightly an interactive session as well. Which tools have you worked with? So if you haven't worked with, so for instance, of course, ChatGPT is a popular one. So you also have Cloud AI, you have Grok, you have 11 Labs. Yes, okay, yes, I can see Quillbot. Yes, I can. Yes, Gemini. So you have Grok, you have DeepSeek, you have Stability AI, and there are a lot of other AI tools. So you have tools, AI tools. They are, I like to classify the generative AI tools that have been trending these days into like four. So you have like large language model based tools, and then these are basically like chat gpt, the ones you are aware of, and then you have tools that are for audio generation. So you have like whisper, you have 11 labs and the rest. So and then also suno. So then you also have video generator video generation tools for video generation, right? And then you have that's where you have tools like runway ml and the rest. So you also have image generation tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and then the likes. I'm sure also ChatGPT, OpenAI, and DALL-E is OpenAI's image model, image foundational model actually. So you have other tools. So these are some of the you have intersection at various points. But these are when you talk about generative AI tools. Uh, that's these are some of the tools, and then we'll be going over. So the concept or what you will be learning today would be applicable to most of these other tools as well, because most of these generative AI tools use text and prompting to get the best out of to get to take instructions and then generate the output you want. So yes, so let's get started, right? And just to highlight that generative AI is not just limited to generative AI, right? Of course, generative AI has been hyped of recent because of the success and the progress and basically what they're able to do with it. But you have AI is very broad. You have a lot of other subcategories apart from generative AI, which is AI that generates content or information or value. And then you have predictive AI. You have AI for unsupervised rules basically. So there are different categories or different subsets of AI. So but generative AI, of course, because of its ability to create, has gotten the attention of the public. So yes, so let's get started. So introduction to business. This will just be high level. So yes, so why are we having this session? Yes, basically it's to be able to improve or to see how AI can be used to transform your current operations, right? So yes, so the first, so of course, I just try to highlight some areas which in which you can use AI to get things done, and we would not touch some of these because they'll be too broad for the scope of this meeting. But the first is, of course, yes. When you look at whenever when I'm trying to work, whenever I work with clients to build or to build AI solutions for them. I look at AI from this perspective, right? How can I use AI to boost to drive growth, to drive sales, to optimize their operations, or to help to improve their customer experiences. So when you are using AI in business, these are some of the key areas that you could use AI, and this is not any different for business consulting. So you can use, so there are broad applications. You can use AI in data analysis, research, client automation. So you can automate, like for instance, scheduling mails, responding to emails. You can use that. You can use tools like Okta.ai to transcribe your meetings, to get action points, to automate action points. But that's not what we'll be talking today. Today we'll be looking at proposal, how to create proposal, very compelling proposals with AI. Right. So yes. So basically, before I go further, I would like to highlight, so at this point, the core philosophy I want you to have when you are using AI is to look at AI as a tool that augments your expertise, not as a tool that replaces it. So don't look at AI, don't so when you're thinking about using AI for proposals, don't see it as a tool that will replace your need to be able to draft proposals as you have been doing. Just take it as a tool that enhances the quality of proposals you draft. So that's a very good way. I have an article in my most recent article which highlights the right ways to use AI and the wrong ways to use AI. On my Substack. So if you subscribe to my blog, you would see, you have access to that. So you will get very extensive information on what's or some of the mistakes you can fall into when you give AI autonomy to just craft proposals and send without having a human in the loop. So yes, so just very important that you have the philosophy you should work with is to use this AI tool as an augmentor for your skills, not as a replacement. So when you are, so just take it now that for each of you who is attending this meeting, it seems it's like you have been given an intern, a very powerful and intelligent intern, which you would be using to or boost your work. So you assign tasks to this intern, and you would have to review whatever this intern has performed. But the intern is actually very intelligent. So that is the concept, that's the ideology I want you to use as you are working or as you are going through this working with these tools. So yes, so prompt engineering. So how what's prompt engineering? Prompt engineering basically, in simple terms, is using natural language to dish instructions to the computer. With traditional softwares, you had to use send inputs to the computer or to whatever solution you are working with in structured formats, and based on the inputs. And then also in the past, with AI solutions, you had AI for object detection, AI for various use cases. So but in these moments, you had to still structure the inputs in a very strict, they followed very strict rules on how to structure it. If your input is not the same format, or it's not the same size as your out as has been designed by the system, you get very serious errors. But with prompt engineering allows you to send instructions to the AI system with natural language. So you just send in instructions as you would send to a human. So now, given that given that introduction, how do you craft very compelling prompts that will get you the best result? Because the quality of prompts you send will determine the quality of output you get. There's a known fact with AI, which is garbage in, garbage out. So even before with computers, right? Garbage in, garbage out. And this has not just been something that is only familiar with traditional computing. Even AI has that. So the quality of input, the quality of data you send into the AI will determine the quality of output or response you get. So when you are working with prompts, someone can create a very compelling proposal with ChatGPT or with DeepSeek, and you can struggle to create a very half-baked proposal that can easily be detected. And this is why it's very important to understand what prompting is and how to craft the best prompts. So quickly, let's just take a look at this sample, this prompt. So this prompting 101. And if you look at this, so basically we're trying to get, let's say, a tool like ChatGPT or Gemini or the rest to craft answer this question. So in the first prompt, we said why did the chicken cross the road. That's the question, why did the chicken cross the road. And you can see this is the response it gave. So basically this. So why is this not a very good prompt? Because it doesn't have restrictions. So I'm just trying to give you an introduction to what you should do with prompting. So what's a better prompt? So if you look at the second prompt, you see that, okay, so now the question, the prompt is act as a chatbot. That's given it a role. So take the role of a chatbot and reply the user's request in short sentences. First request, why did the chicken cross the road? These are both asking the AI the same thing, but they are getting that. But they are asking the AI the same thing, but it's different responses. You can see the quality of response. So now, because you have specified, let's look at what makes this a better prompt. Now you have given it a rule, and it's now responding as a chatbot, and it's now going to make sure that its responses are short. So these two instructions give it context. Now you see, if you can change this prompt slightly and you get a different response. You can say act like a poet, respond to this. You see that the response it will give you here will be slightly different. If you say something like be sarcastic and respond to this, it's answering the same question, but that input has changed the way it will answer. If you say something like act like a comedian and respond to this, or answer like a consultant or a like some of these small contexts will fine-tune how it responds to this same question. So it just giving an introduction to what prompting does, or what the quality of prompt does to you. And we'll not focus so much on this is an introduction. We'll get to the reason why we need this. So yes, so building blocks, so basic building blocks for but I think as I'm going ahead, right, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and I will respond to them, so that we'll be on the same page. So just feel free to drop. I hope that there's no question, even though we haven't really gotten into the main thing we want to discuss. So but if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and I'll respond to them. So yes, so building prompt building blocks, right? So what are the key prompt building blocks for this particular tutorial? I will be focusing on six, right? So the first is the role and the responsibility, and then you have the task, the goal, objective, then you have the tune, the style, and then you have the audience. Then in the next, I'll highlight the next in the next area. So but how do you now set a role? So for instance, instead when you're trying to craft a prompt for as a business consultant, when you're trying to use a tool like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, rather than just saying build me a proposal, let's use something like that. If you say you are a business consultant with experience in, let's say, real estate in Nigeria, now this context will make it to behind the scenes pull out information that's relevant for this proposal. And if you try, if even your LLM, whatever LLM you are using right now, you will see a difference in the response. If you just say write me a proposal for real estate, let's say just a company blah 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 blah, and then versus you are a business consultant with experience in the Nigerian market, this, I write this, the context or the response you will get will be very different. And that is, you are now trying to give it context. So you see, that's why it's important to have roles or personalities. So these are some of the examples or sample ways you can craft prompts that will assign roles. So make sure that for each prompt you are trying to craft, you give it a role, or each major prompt. So as you are writing proposals now, you need to first make it think like or take the role of a business consultant. How will a business consultant write prompts? Because it has billions of data points or information in its data in its memory, right? So if you give it context, you fine tune the information it focuses on, and it gives you better results. So then the tax, yes, so this is your tax. Now for tax, you can look at, you are writing a prompt, what is the aim of the proposal? So if you provide more context to the proposal, you are trying to pitch for this, or you are trying to help the client boost sales, you are trying to help the client grow expand their, like, whatever, depending on the context. This context will actually help the prompt, the AI to give you more relevant responses, as opposed to just generally just leaving it blank. So it's very important to understand that the AI does not understand your information before now. It's just like if I meet you as a business consultant and I'm now asking you, okay, help me do this. the first questions you try to ask me, you want to know more about my business, you want to know more information about me if we have not met before, because there's no way you can help me if you don't know, if you don't know anything about me. So it's like it's the same thing with an AI. Just take it this way, that an AI needs to have context on you, the business, and what you're trying to do. The more information it has about what you're trying to achieve, the better. So if I have not gotten to the point yet, but when you're trying to pass prompts, you also, if you put in, for instance, information on some of the past jobs you have done, or information about your company, maybe you pull in your website and some of the information about your services, your products, this adds context to the AI and helps it to be able to do better or do justice to whatever you are giving it. So it's very important to have context, right? So without context, just like if you meet a stranger, let me say you meet a business consultant, or you meet a professional online and just tell it to help you, if this consultant or this person does not have any information about you, have any prior information, there is no way they can help you. So yes, then the tone of voice, of course, this comes in very helpful when you are trying to like write articles. Write it in a conversational tone, write it in a business, in a casual tone or something like that. So that comes in handy. That's another thing. And then also the channels. So if you specify your target audience as well, that will help you. So for instance, you're writing proposal to a technical founder or a technical or business person, that will be slightly different from when you're writing proposals to someone who owns a restaurant, or someone who owns a real estate business. So the audience, when you specify the audience can also help you to understand, the target audience can help. And also, like, this also goes as far as, like, you see the samples here. If you are trying to craft content for a LinkedIn post, or versus when you are trying to craft it for a different article, like a long form PDF or proposal, this context will give it more, will help you achieve better. So yes, of course. And then, like I said, we have the format, so you can limit it. So you can see, for instance, you want a proposal 4 pages, you don't want 21 page proposal, very lengthy proposal that will bore your client off. You can specify the but although that's not still the best way to handle things like this. But I'm just trying to give you an idea that if you can specify the output, and then you can specify the structure, like how your responses will be. If you're writing paragraphs, or you're making it by sessions, you can specify the length of the session. You can specify it based on characters. You can specify it based on, you can give a lot of information that will provide context and refine your the response you get. So, and then yes, you can provide examples. So for instance, you have previous proposals that did very good, that performed very good. You can use them as reference point. You can be like, see an example of a proposal that worked good, or you see a proposal online that you like, right? And you want to use something like that. So you can provide context. This will help you. Okay, you like this proposal, you want the AI to be able to like help you use this as an inspiration. So you can use proposals as inspiration. You can use proposals that have won contracts. So you don't have to build everything from scratch. You can use the style as an inspiration. So yes, and then of course you can use formatting. So for instance, if you look at this, when you're trying to copy the content of a proposal that you want to understand as sample, you can use tags, or you can use quotes to perform this. This is just high level information. And yes, I wanted you to be able to craft, but I think I'll take this exercise to the end, right? So before I move on, are there questions at this point? Are there questions so far? Just drop it in the chat if there are questions. If there are questions, yes. If there are no questions, no. So I'll understand that we're moving together and I can move forward. Are you there? I hope I've not lost you guys. Okay, I'm assuming there are no questions. So let's okay. All right, good. So, so since no questions, let's move ahead. And yeah, so now crafting irresistible proposals, right? So I would want to ask, so before we go in, so can you just, since given that you have experience, you already have been working in this space, what will you, just briefly just write from your own experience, what do you think constitutes a very good proposal? Just briefly, I just want to just have just get some, before I just show what I have on my slide. Just what do you have, what constitutes a very good proposal, and what do you think, or what based on your experience, what will you say is a very good, has to be found in a very good proposal? Just there's no wrong answer. Just I just drop them before, because this also, the reason why I'm asking this is, you see, this context, even if before we go forward, this knowing what consists of a good proposal helps you also to be able to understand what you need to push into your own, um into the AI for context. So for instance, if the problem is, if a very clear description of the problem is a very key component of the good proposal, then it means that when you are putting your context, you also try to emphasize and make the AI get understand that it needs to pass this, it needs to capture this or ensure that this is very good. And then for instance your ROI, because of course the good proposal is, you need to tell the client what they are going to stand to benefit in, so their return on investment. So you need to also, okay, see, okay, brainstorm what are some very creative ways that I can like craft or get a very compelling ROI for the this proposal, right? So that it has a very high chance of performing. So these are some very key things to have in mind, to understand that if you don't, like I said before, if you don't give the AI a very good information to work with, you will have very weak results, right? So let's go into proposal. So crafting a winning proposal, right? So the anatomy of a winning proposal, the essentials, of course, you have the executive summary. Some proposals might not be so strict, might not have strict rules, depending on the proposal you are applying for, whether it's government or in Nigeria. Most times, I think, to best of my understanding, you don't really have, you have the freedom to be able to like structure your proposal. There's no very, except it's a grant, you have the freedom to be able to structure your proposals the way you want. So if so depending on the proposal, basically, of course, you need to be clear, have a very compelling problem statement to understand that. And problem statement, how do you craft a very compelling problem statement? You need to understand what the client pain point is. If the client has reached out to you already, they must have told you what their problem is. If they have not reached out to you and you are meeting, like you're sending a cold proposal, or you have to do a solid research on the client, and this is somewhere AI can actually help you. So how do you research or learn so much about the client, and things like that? So, and then the solution, you must give solutions that are very tailored. So in addition to using AI, like I said, AI is an intern. So some of the, for personally how I get a very compelling solution, sometimes research can also help you. So when you look at research papers and see trends, try to see, okay, what are some of the compelling cases or compelling use cases or solutions for this particular domain in 2025. So you can look at research papers. If you access research papers, this can help you. And sometimes research papers, AI might not have direct access to these research papers. So if you have to download them and use them as context, that can also help build the quality of your proposal. So you're not just giving information that is just found on blogs or just vague information, because for your proposal to be very compelling, you need to have a very strong solution. So yes, so you can get some of these solutions from research papers that have been published. This helps you get very practical real world applications, and it cuts the journey for you. So yes, so and then the value proposition, of course, and then the methodology you are using. So you need to tell the clients how you are going to achieve some of these things, at least at a high level. You're not selling out your very key yeah, you're not selling your key processes, but you're letting the client know that they are very qualified to be able to do this. And of course your credentials, proof of, like I said, proof of providing. So some of this context, and this all this information, these are all variables that you can add to your proposal, to your prompt, to give this in context. So you can tell, when you use this, we will see an example very soon. So let me not waste so much time. on this. So yes, a strong structure ensures the proposal is persuasive and professional. Your aim, the reason why you are using AI, and this is what separates intelligent use of AI with very poor use of AI. Like I said from the beginning, if you joined late, you have to use AI. Use AI. The philosophy you have to work with when you are using AI is to look at AI as an augmenter for your skills. So it's not replacing your need to be able to write proposal. You still need the human expertise to craft proposal that will not just be shoved into the trash. How do you write a proposal that is compelling, that when you send to your clients, it is too it's very professional and it's difficult to resist. So that is the idea. And so when you're using AI, you're not just using AI to just write a proposal and then write a blog, just like how people write blogs or articles that nobody reads. So the idea is you're trying to make your proposal more persuasive. So that is the concept. So it's not to just write something that your client will just see and then maybe write like 50 pages or 5 or 20 pages, and it's too long, and it's not something that it must be long. At least it should be long for the right reasons, not just because ChatGPT or a tool just randomly generated some text. So and then maybe most likely it's talking gibberish and just talking vague, no practical solutions, just English and just going over and over vague points. So this this is a very strong point to take note of. Now, how do you leverage AI in proposal development? So like I said, rather than so the and a good way, and I will check, I think I will this at this point I will send you, it's good for you to have this I will post this in the chat, right? So I'm pasting a document. Sorry, I'm sorry, okay, I'm trying to paste a link. Okay, it's for some reason. Okay, maybe I'll send this link to Mr. Josiah via chat, so he helps me paste it. I don't know why I'm unable to paste that through my chats. Or let me see. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to paste this link, this, because I want you to follow along with me. Good. So I just shared a Google Doc in the chat, and that just highlights the sample of a good versus bad prompt, and we'll be working with it. At the end of this session, we'll have some practical sessions where we try to see how we can use this. So yes, so just you can just go through just for reference as we are going through this. So I like I said, looking at what how do you make a good proposal, how do you use AI in proposal development. The idea is to break down your tasks into small units, tasks, and then use AI to fix each of them. So rather than looking at it as I want a proposal, AI write me a proposal, that's a very bad way to use AI. Now the right way would be to break it down. So as a human, what is the typical process of proposal writing? If you are trying to write proposal, traditionally, if you are trying to write proposal for your client, you have to research the client, see what they do, understand what the client is, what their interests are, and what will be compelling for their industry, what their competitors are doing, what will will it look like to, like, so basically, like, these are some information you need from a client about crafting good proposals, right? So if in traditional, so that's what will help you to like get context and provide something that's relevant to them, and then look at their site, look at their services, also get their like see what they're just basically profiling your client. So researching, so you can use AI in research, you can use AI to identify, like, for instance, so even if you don't have so much, let's say you're trying to meet a new client and you're meeting them online, but you know that they are in real estate, so you look at, okay, so even if you don't know exactly what their pain point is, like, you can check, okay, what are some ways, like, what are some key challenges for real estate in Nigeria. If your client is based in Nigeria, and you can research this, maybe you can look up research, like let's say you can use Google Scholar to find maybe research papers that have tried to highlight that, and you will be shocked that you might find some of these research papers, and then you read them, and then you get some very key points. These are points that you can include in your research. This cuts down your research intelligently. So, and then you can look at trends. You can even use, good thing with some of these LLMs is they can also solve the net. So you can ask a question, and then LLM will find you articles, links to documents that are very relevant for your proposal, and which makes cuts down your time and makes you save a lot of time. Which these are things that normally with human, even when you use humans to do them, you might not find the best result because you are limited by the information you have. So now with AI, and it's access to the net, and then your access to research articles and documents, special documents, maybe reports or news articles. These are things that can enrich the quality of your proposals, right? And then, so yes, basically you have to first identify the clients and its industry, research the tools, research what the competition is, what are the competitions, who are the big players in their own industry, and then what can you find from the big players that you can recommend to them. What are they doing wrong? These are some things that make your proposal to be very, very, very compelling, right? And then also, so identifying the pain points. So what are some of the challenges? What are the key issues? And yes, drafting proposal. So what is the compelling value you are trying to push for this client? What is the return on investment? So if the client decides to patronize or decides to work with you, what are you guaranteeing them that they will get, like, clearly? And you see this, once you have this information, when you include this in your prompt, you will get very intelligent proposals, because the AI will write it in a very compelling way that will deeply refine the quality, and then you'll be able to close more deals. Remember, you are not trying to write a proposal. It's defeated when you are trying to just cook a proposal that either is too lengthy and boring for the client to read, or is too vague. So it's talking about the subject, but it's just going high level and just giving information that the client does not need. Most of these clients are experts in their field. So for instance, there's no need you are writing to a real estate agent and then I give him the history of real estate in Nigeria except you're trying to like prove a point. They already know this information. So it's very important that you understand this while working with your proposal. So you're not giving the information. The idea is not to use AI to just, because if you use it too basic, you will be giving the clients information they already know and it won't be valuable to them. So it's not to ramble with words and not make a point. The idea is to drive the point home and using, so for instance, using AI to drive statistics. You can be like, okay, what are some compelling statistics on the state of housing in Nigeria? When you tell a client, so imagine you are telling the client, okay, we are going to help you acquire build your make this your investment. You are trying to work on an investment, a real estate, and they have a property. And then telling them that, okay, as a business consultant, we are going to make you get the best out of this investment, or how out of this property, and how you can invest and get people to really buy into the plots you are trying to sell. Then imagine that you just say that plainly, or versus someone who decides to use AI and say, okay, get me statistics on either failures or common failures of people who have tried to use business try to use startup real estate companies or real estate businesses in Nigeria. And then the AI searches online and then finds links to reports or research papers, and then gives you statistics. Then you say something like, okay, about 50% of, in your proposal you now have to start something like, about 50% of Nigerians or real estate companies or real estate business in Nigeria have failed due to this. We are going to provide this, or there's showing opportunity. So $1 billion or billionaire was made in social sector using this strategy. You see, this kind of detail, this kind of statistics will be difficult to find if you were doing it on your own. But you see, with AI, you are able to like find these key details fast, like, and it makes your proposal very rich. So these are some examples of ways you can enrich your proposal. Of course, value proposition, and you are trying to like make an argument for your clients. And you see, just like research, references to legitimate sources and stuff. So using tools like Perplexity AI And even most good thing that now all this chat gpt and all these things have the ability to also solve the net, so they can also give you links, so you go and visit the link, check the information and validate that this is actually there, and then you build your compelling response, and then make it okay. It's sort of like the national regulatory body made a statement about this. You see, this information in your proposal creates stronger arguments for your clients, and when they read it, gets a compelling case. So I just wanted to emphasize that concept, right? And then yes, so personalization. So yes, so drafting, like I said, value proposition, and then personalization. So yes, you're not, like I said, you're not writing something vague. It's going, most my experience writing proposals to businesses, right? I discovered it's when, especially, there's a temptation to write proposal that does not really hit your clients at home because you don't know much or you have not interviewed the client. But you see, that is not an excuse, because it's weak when you write a proposal and then the client does not even give it a thought. So it's very important that you use AI to try to personalize. So if your client has a website, try to visit their website. If they have a Google business, try to see their digital footprints. If they have a social media account, try to see what they are doing, try to get information about them, what is compelling about them, and try to work somewhere, like personalize it, so that, because you need to get something that compels the client. Like, I've been surprised at many points what actually ends up getting a client to like pick interest in my work. Most times it's not the information I'm selling, but something he found maybe on my website or something, and then it's very strange that that's what compelled or convinced them. So personalize your proposals. Like, you will be surprised what will get the client. Especially when the client feels you have done your due diligence, it might help your case. So this is very important for your prompting, right? And yeah, so AI, like I said, the summary of what this point is, AI really speeds up the research and helps you to tailor your proposals, making it more relevant. So you're not just giving vague. This is summary of what I was trying to like highlight. So yes, so now that we have talked about creating proposals, so once we have created the proposal, the executive summary, I've used AI to like break down. If you look at the or before I get into this, if you're on your documents, okay, no, okay, I think what happens, I'll go over that document after this. I don't want to deviate. So, but if you look at the document very well, you will see that what a good prompt takes, like I said, takes the big tax, and breaks it down into small chunks. If you have used reasoning models, for those of you who have used reasoning models like DeepSeek's R1, or if you are conversant with the idea of reasoning models, what makes different reasoning models different from normal models is its explainability. So for instance, we are using like ChatGPT's reasoning model, or most models, even DeepSeek has a toggle button for reasoning. Even Grok has a toggle button for reasoning. So why are these reasoning models different? Because unlike the normal LLMs, where you ask a question, it makes the assumptions by itself, and then it just gives you answer. So when you say proposal, it just gives you the proposal, and then makes the assumption. So it will make all the assumptions without you knowing how it arrived at the answer. A reasoning model does it like a human being. So it tells you why it's thinking the way it's thinking, right? It breaks it down first, and then shows you the assumptions it's making, breaks it down into steps, so that you can explain how it arrived at the answer, which makes it more intelligent and more accurate. So that way it's able to fact check a lot of these things. So now it's important that when you're working with if you're working with some of these tools, you try to see how of course reasoning models are more expensive, so but it's important to see how it works, because when you look at good prompting versus how a reasoning model works, you can see that there's a lot of similarity. Because when you have a good prompt, a reasoning model does not just take a prompt or an instruction and execute it at once. It first breaks it down into a roadmap, like how can I execute this well, what are the steps, what are the decisions that need to be taken, and you will see it through. If you use something like DeepSeek, you will see that step broken down, and that is the same thing, that's the same logic you are supposed to use when you are prompting. So when you are giving a proposal, like I said, you break it down. How do you research various points of the proposal? How do you research even your pricing? what's an ideal price for so, and like even though it's difficult to get data on that publicly that's relevant, but each how do you research your clients rather than just saying okay, this is the client, just write a proposal for Google or write proposal for this. It's just very vague. But when you break it down into subtasks, you get and break into steps, and then use AI at each of these small processes, section by section or task by small subtasks by subtasks, you get better results. So yes, optimizing, back to optimizing um our AI outputs for proposal excellence, right? So yeah, so basically you refining AI generated content for top tier results. So now you have, let's assuming you have created your proposal, you have created the results. So before I go ahead, any questions? I just want to make sure that we're still on track and we're still following and I've not lost you. If there are no questions, I'll be checking the chat, but if there are no questions, I'll just go ahead. So yes, so refine uh generated content. So now you have created AI content. How do you make sure that this content is actually what it is? Because just the truth is, AI is, as good as AI is, it's not perfect, right? And it's, if you use it wrongly, you can get disastrous output. So it's very important. Like I said in the article, I have an article on my blog. If you, that's at blog.nnitiwe.io. If you haven't, it's my Substack. So if you haven't, it shows that blog article talks about the right and wrong ways to use AI. If you haven't gone through, if you go through that, you will see that I highlighted some examples of times of real world examples of companies that use AI the right way and got results, and then companies that use AI wrongly and flopped and it cost them dearly. So it's very important to understand that as good as AI is, it has some limitations, and you need to be aware of these limitations when you're trying to work with them. So the first limitation I'll try to highlight, which is the second point, is hallucination, right? So when ChatGPT and most of these tools came out, one of the challenges it had is that it generates fake information or false information with confidence. So you can ask a question like, who is the president of Nigeria, and to be like John F. Kennedy. Of course, that's a very unknown statistics, but known information. But I'm trying to say that one of the challenges it had was being like spewing very wrong information with confidence. Now imagine you write a proposal and you have statistics, and this statistics just tells you 50% of Nigerians are this, but that's a wrong information. Now if your client sees that and it's in your proposal, that can really cripple the quality of your proposal, because that's not accurate, especially because you are working in their domain and you know the reality of things there. So it's very important for you to deal with hallucination, because as you are using AI, even though it can give a very compelling information proposal and be very convincing, you don't want to oversell or be fake or give false information. So now how do you address all I call now inconsistencies? Now it's very important that one, you enforce in your prompts that it should only give you reliable sources information. And the good thing now is AI has improved, or these generative AI models have improved. Initially when ChatGPT gives you a response, it just drops the response with no link. But after Perplexity AI came out, Perplexity AI gives it's very good. If you have not signed up, you can sign up. It's very good for your organization. So if you look at it, Perplexity AI gives you information that is banked, but only information that is sourced from legit sources, right? From legit and very valuable sources. So when you use that, and it gives you the link. So for every information it's giving you, or every statement it's giving you, it gives you reference. And if you have used ChatGPT, Grok, or this recently, you'll see that they are doing the same thing. Whenever ChatGPT searches the internet and it finds information, it tries to include the links of this information, and it's now your duty to go to the link and confirm that the information is accurate. Always don't trust it. Most times it will be accurate, but don't trust that. Always make sure that you validate the source, like you go to the link and confirm that the information is right, and not just right, that not that it's actually how it says it is. Because if you give a prompt and say, for instance, make this very compelling, sometimes it might oversell or overhype the actual information that is there. So you must make sure that the information you are giving is not just present, but it's accurately discussed or accurately presented. so I don't have a situation where you are sending a proposal and you are sending lies. So it's very important. So that hallucination effect is there. The good thing that is that there are a lot of tools now, and these LLMs now give you ability to cross check. So it gives you references. Most information you'll be getting now, if ChatGPT is searching the net, if this is searching the net, there are links that you can click and go to the actual website. And if you find that it's a dead link, then possibly that is a way to drop, that's an addition to drop that statistics. So especially when you are dealing with data, if you cannot find the source of that data, it's better not to use it, no matter how compelling it is, because there's no point putting something that will cripple your proposal. So now the other thing I want to talk about is A/B testing. So use A/B testing. When I talk about A/B testing, apart from the fact that you can use different prompts and see how they respond, you can also use different platforms. I don't like to stick to one, so I don't think that you should monopolize or you should stick to just ChatGPT or Gemini or this. Sometimes you can get better results from alternative platforms. I don't like to say that one is better than the other necessarily. So I'm going to drop in this chat, it's a Perplexity AI. You have Cloud AI, you have DeepSeek, AI, you have Grok AI, you have ChatGPT AI, and then you have Gemini. So why I'm sending this is, these are some very good places to start from. Now imagine you use the same prompt and you paste in ChatGPT, paste in Grok, paste in Cloud, and then try to see how they respond, and then you get your response. Now I'm very sure you would see some things that might look that were presented well in the first AI versus the second one, and this can help you. It's not like you're having 5 employees and then each of them is now working and they are now reviewing and then finding the best thing in each of them, and you're performing. So sometimes you can work, like, it's very interesting. So it's just an intelligent way to like work with this AI solution. So you are tapping into base of them in each of them. Each time most of them will work differently and they will give you different responses, but the good thing is you are using them as a tool to refine. Like I said, you are not replacing your need to write proposals, it is helping you refine your needs. So maybe even if when you're trying to look for statistics, you can, one might present a statistics or might find information that the other one did not find based on the assumptions they made. So it's very important to, so you can use this, create accounts. If you don't have accounts with these tools, create accounts. The good thing is that they are free accounts for each of these tools, and you can use, so they are free accounts. You can, of course there are paid versions that give you more functionalities, but for a start and for what you are doing with proposal writing, you can get a lot done with the free version. So it's very so just please, I hope you have taken note of this. Please, if you are taking note of this, or if you are on the same page, please type, just let me give you a thumbs up, or let me just see something in the chat that lets me know that you are following and have not been cut off by network or something. Just quickly drop a thumbs up or drop something that lets me know that you are actually that we are on the same page. I hope you all are here. Okay, just a thumbs up. Okay, yeah, okay, good. Thank you. So we are here. So good. That's good. So so please, if you have not created accounts on each of these, please just do that now. They are free. Go to Gemini. Go to Gemini, create an account on Gemini, and good thing, if you are using you can download. Most of these have apps on your phone, so it's very easy to be able to work with them. If you are using them on the system, or you are using them, all these tools, I think only Grok has an app in pipeline, but most of these tools have they have Android apps or iOS apps that you can download on your phone. So create an account with them and use them. So yes, A/B test, like I said, A/B testing is very important because you get to check the how well each of these AI solutions performs when it comes to like creating drafting the proposals or working on each task you have given it. So you can create the, like I said, work on on the prompt and then drop it, for it for to see how it performs, and then you select what works best. So now, and then the next is evaluation. So now, look, take you can make AI a hater. I like to make it this way. Make AI a hater. So for instance, imagine you finish working on a proposal, and then you tell the AI, okay, now take this. You are a reviewer, you are screening this, highlight bad points of this proposal. What are the weak points of this proposal? And then now you have used AI to create it, but you are also using it to criticize it. So, and that is one that you always get good results. Criticize, okay, and then also you can do it in multiple ways. So for instance, you can do it, okay, criticize this proposal, maybe the grammar, all these things, and then it will give or score it over 10, or score different sections based on best practice of proposal writing over 10. You can do it like that, or you can say, okay, now maybe you check online and then you have a PDF of a proposal that was good performing well, or you have a proposal that you are very sure, maybe a guide that tells you how well a proposal is. You can compare, you can do a comparison. You can say, okay, between proposal 1 and proposal 2, which one is better, and what are the weak points of the one you have written, and then you can use that to brainstorm and then find out, okay, yes, these are some areas I can improve. Now, of course, it's not every recommendation from the AI that you will take. That's why it's an intelligent use, because take it like an intern. It's not every recommendation it gives you that you work, because you have to look at the objective you are trying to work with. So you are not going to take every recommendation or every suggestion or every content it generates for you. But the idea is it's giving you a third eye, so you are getting better or smarter. You're getting a smarter revision of your work. So it's very important when you are done with your work to actually evaluate how good and how compelling it is to try and score. And then also, okay, I should highlight when it gives you a low score, what points of the proposal were weak, and how can you improve this. Just get recommendations and see if it will open something that might be helpful to you. So these are some very good ways to use AI to, after you have created the proposal, to like refine, to see, okay, how you can make it very compelling. So that's another thing. And then also in like for instance, so tweaking. So for instance, depending on the proposal you are working with, some companies, or if you are especially when you are bidding big contracts, people are becoming very sensitive to the use of AI. So it's sometimes might be sometimes your proposals might be passed through, but in Nigeria I doubt that is going to be a case for most organizations, and especially even not just Nigeria, even for clients internationally. So first, your proposal gives them the response you want. Not everybody is very hostile to the idea of using AI, but for companies, if you want to tweak, or you're applying for a grant or something that might require that might be very sensitive to the use of AI, because they have AI detectors. There are two tools that can detect when you have used AI to generate content. So there are two solutions around it. The first is you use AI to research, but you craft out the proposal, or you write it out yourself. That way, it's of course going to be 100% human generated, because you just use AI to generate the information that you need to craft the proposal, but you are writing the proposal in your own words. Now, the second one is to use AI tools that help you not to get detected. So you like undetect.io, I think something like this, and then you have also humanize AI. So, and then there are a lot of them. So you can find tools about that help you to use AI and refine your text. Now, the downside is very important to understand the downside, because whenever I'm introducing tools, I like to highlight the good aspects of it and then the weak sides too. So when you're using tools, these humanized tools, they sometimes tweak your language at the cost of what you're actually trying to say. So it might try to humanize your text, but you might lose the actual information you're trying to make, which will make your statement to be gibberish. So what is the point of having a text that does not be detected by AI but does not make much sense? So you see, that's why the balance is. So you might need to use your human text if you are very particular, or you are very much interested in making a proposal that will not be detected by AI, you would have to, like, you can put some of these considerations into mind. These are tools that will help you refine the quality of your AI, your proposals. And then now and it's very important. You see, this concept I'm teaching you about proposals is not just limited to proposals. This will guide you generally in how you use AI for a lot of things. So it's not just proposals. So I'm just including research, including brainstorming your ideas, creating content. Even if you're trying to do writing articles, if you're trying to create content, you're trying to create content for various things. These are very important. These things apply to each of them. So I'm just terming this lecture to be proposal to be on proposals, but it's not just limited to proposals. This knowledge or this skill applies to various areas as well. So we have spent 1 hour and we're almost done. We're almost coming to the point to where we have an interactive session, right? So, and yes, so after, so like I said, so once you have done that, right, it's once you have done that, the next phase is to look at how you finalize your 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 presentation. How do you finalize your proposals? How do you structure it so that it looks very compelling? Because visuals, you cannot underrate the impact of visuals, right? How do you make your proposals to be very compelling or very very good to look to work with? So yes, now yes, the final steps of proposal. So once you have the content now, so how do you structure it? So I will be going to these tools, we'll be going over them. I'll be going over them. We'll be going to the practical session, so don't worry. I'm just going to highlight. So Google Docs, and the good thing with Google Docs, I have an understanding that some of you, that you have to work remotely, or you have to work with, you all are not in the same location, so you have uh some people you have different locations. So collaborative tools like Google Docs will help you to be able to craft proposals that can immediately be converted to documents that can be forwarded to the proposals. And like, just like the document I'm sharing with you, right, it's a Google Doc. You can contribute, you can comment. There are tutorials on YouTube for how you can collaborate as a team on documents. You can write, so one person can be working on the executive summary, the other aspects, or one person can be reviewing, one person can write the draft, and then the other person, like a third eye, apart from the AI reviewing, maybe a superior can look at this Google Doc instead of having to send Word documents via email, and then you have to be downloading the file for each downloaded file. You see, Google Docs help you to be able to like sync and just edit the same document, and then you only download once you are ready. So and you can comment. It's very intelligent. Like you can make comments, you can highlight certain things and comment, and then you can make suggestions, that will be accepted. There are very intelligent ways you can use Google Docs for collaboration, right? And yes, you can have Canva Docs. So if Google Docs is too plain for you, I'll show you. Canva Doc has been my favorite because I like Canva Doc because it has templates that are very beautiful if you are someone who is interested in designs, right? So if you don't want something like plain document like looking thing, you can use Canva Docs, Canva documents, and the templates to write proposals that will look very beautiful, and you download them and send. And the good thing is it has free versions that don't have all these watermarks. So all these Canva, you download them and you don't even have the source. So it's very beautiful, and it has been helping me. I've been using it for proposals. You can use it as well. So, and then of course there are other tools that you can use to polish your proposal writing. We'll go into the details. And then charts. So there are tools for charts to create visuals. You can create visuals for infographics depending on the point you want to prove. If you include graphs, infographics in your proposals, it helps to solidify your point. So imagine, because the idea is, remember that your clients have their jobs, their day-to-day jobs, and most likely your work is not like, it's not the first. Your proposal is just one of the items they need to see. So the easier you make it for your client to be able to process the information you are submitting to them, the better your chances of closing that deal. There's no point sending a proposal that is 50 pages, 20 pages, if the client does not get to understand the value you are trying to pitch to them. And with visuals like images, like graphs, this makes it fast. So when a client sees a graph, it immediately wants to read, and that might make them compelled to see what the content of your proposal is. And so very interesting to add graphs. So these are things that you can add to your proposals, right? So, and then yes, of course, AI editing. So if you want to refine the text, you can use tools like Grammarly, and chat and Grok chat GPT for checking the style, refining, rephrasing text, and the likes. And then yes, so you can deliver by email. So this all this email, the PDF delivery, uh, this tool helps you do that, right? This the documents, the Canva and Google Docs help you to do that. So let's go to the next. So please, like I said, if you have questions, feel free to send them. So yes, so right now we are at the demo section, and yes, let me minimize this, and then we'll head over to Canva Docs. So I'll be, let me see, let me log in, right? So I'll paste this in chat as well, just so you have, for those who will be watching. Sorry. So yes, okay, I don't know why my network is misbehaving. Let me send Grok. Let me type. Just a minute. So if you don't have an account, you can create one. Let's see. Okay, I'll need to permit this. Okay, so now this is the interesting part. Like I said, if you go to templates, so you have a lot of you have a lot of information, a lot of items, right? So you can see you have you have this structure. You can see how nice looking some of these proposals are. You can see, so you can see this, you can see this strategy, these documents. You can see how they look, and these are, most of these are free. You can see, so you can see this annual report. You can tweak them to your taste. So let's say if I want to use this, can you see how it looks? You can see. So imagine sending a document in this structure. You see that this gives you a better feel, or this works better. I feel it's compared to like using a document, or a Microsoft Word document, or a Google Docs. You can edit, so I can edit the sections. I'm now in it, so I can edit this session as I wish. I can add, you can learn how to use Canva to perform each of these. And if I'm done, once I'm done, I can decide to download this. If I download this, I can have this, so I can download as, say, PNG. I can download it as a PDF, right? Once I download it as a PDF, if I download it as a PDF, it preserves the text. And so once I download this, if I download this now, so it says downloading, it's preparing my downloads, and I don't have to show you. So once it saves this, I can now, I just want to show you what it looks like on. So so if I open this here, so you can see I have documents. You can see it's very structured, very nice looking, and Yes, so you can edit this. You can see no Canva, no Canva watermark on this. This is very, and it's free. So you can create very compelling proposals with this, like I said, and it will be very helpful for your business. So that's one. The next is of course Google Docs. So let me just open this link here. So with Google Docs, aside what you normally have, you can use, so you can change the formatting. So if you look at this, this is not the original format I have for this. So if I'm going to edit, okay, I don't have the permission to edit this, but if I open a new document, let me open a new document. Let me create a new document. So if I create a new document, I can generate text. Let me just generate let me just see, a proposal. So I'm using Gemini to try to just create placeholder for something for this document. So yes, so like you can see, this has just tried to state include a lot of things. You can see even using Gemini, you can see it already creates sample outputs for us here. So but this is, so now for this template, you can see it has created the introduction, the problem statement, the proposed solution, the objective, scope of work, methodology, timeline, budget, and the likes. So if I want to change, if I want to format this, I can format this by, let's say, using I highlighted it, and then let's say I can change format to like this, and of course it looks fine now. It basically, this is just a little bit of graphic design. You can style or make your format, your font can change the structure or the feel of your document great a lot. So imagine, for instance, this looks very unprofessional, but if I, okay, let me use, like I said, if I change it to something like this, you see this doesn't really stand out as a font that I can use for proposal writing. So but you get the idea. So you can format, you can break it down into sections depending on how you want to share the proposal. If sometimes it might be best to send your proposal using Google Docs, especially when you want your client to comment and be able to collaborate or things on it. So you can share it with Google Docs. You can share it as using Canva. So any of the tools you wish to work with, you can use these tools and get the best out of them. So for Grok, I said I would add you the links to Grok. Let me see. So I would want us to try an experiment. Sorry, okay, before I go ahead, are we on the same page? Do you understand which, do you understand both of them, or at least have you been able to, like, I hope that you are getting value with what's with this training so far. You are understanding, or you are on the same page. I'm not losing you. Just let me know in the chat so that I would have context, or if you need explanation of certain things, let me know. Or if you have a question, or even if it's not completely linked to this particular tutorial, you can ask, because I'm trying to like give you, the idea is to be able to equip you with what you need to make the best out of your daily routines. So yes, so that being said, now if there are no questions, let's go to the slide, to this particular slide. This particular document, are we on this document? The document is the Google Docs I shared earlier. I need to see. I'm not seeing you guys on the document. I hope you can see documents. Can you access the document? I'm pasting the document again. Let me know if you are there. Are you on the document? Okay. All right. So yes, so this example, this is a weak example. Okay, yes, I can see you on the documents. Please let others join as well, so that we try to follow, and I'm sure that we are following. So yes, so AI powered. So basically, this scenario is this example, right, is for AI powered. Like, it's just trying to see how we can build a marketing strategy for a company called EcoThreads, right? So the client profile, so the reason why I painted this, I just used a prompt to generate this particular instruction. So the idea or the logic behind profiling this is so that you understand that you need to get information on your clients. So if it's their website, if they don't have a website, try to find their Instagram and just try to see, just you have to document something about what they do, because to give content, because like I said, the quality of your AI output is based on the input. If the AI does not have input, it will not makes it you won't have very good results. So what business are they doing, what do their target audience look like, what services and products are they selling, where are they located, what do you think their vision is. If you go to their profile, their website, or if you go to their Instagram account or their social media, or based on the slightest information you can get about them, maybe through interview, what do you think their profile, or what do you think they are doing. So when you have this, so this for basically for this one, it says the company is a mid-sized suitable fashion brand dedicated to creating eco-friendly apparel using organic and recycled materials, blah blah blah. And then of course, so the industry is fashion and apparel, and then the niche is eco-friendly. So these are their business goals to increase brand awareness around. So basically, these are some. So now in your proposal, this proposal, it could be two ways. So one, it could be like I said, if for clients that you have, for clients you are already in discussion with, who have already told you what they want. Of course, it makes it clear. You can just add that context here. But if for clients who you don't know what they want, so you can use research and try to say, okay, what will be the most compelling goal based on what they are trying to achieve, and then you try to craft it through. But you must pass that context into your prompt, right? So and then, okay, so what challenges are out there, try to see based on your profile, let's make some intelligent assumptions, and then you put this. So but the context is very important, because every single variable here will tweak or improve the quality of the response you are getting. So challenges and this and I don't want to go over just reading everything. So now for prompt engineering, so now this is where we're trying to look at compare both of them. So now here's an example of a poorly crafted prompt, right? uh this this is an example of a poorly crafted prompt. I don't know if you are seeing my screen. Let me try and expand this so you see, so it's very clear. So this is an example of a poorly crafted prompt. Hey AI, I need help with marketing for this the irresistible brand. Can you give me some ideas for campaign? Or it could, another example could be, hey AI, I want to create a proposal for marketing for this. How help me? This is a very poor prompt, and yes, and so these are some reasons why it's poor. Like we already said, this is too vague. There's no context in this prompt. It's just very simple information. You can't get much done with it, and the response you get is so generic. At the end of the day, even if it produces a very compelling prompt, it will be very difficult. It might make wrong assumptions about the location of the business, what the business is doing, and all these things. So, and you might find yourself editing a lot of things. So this is not very helpful. So it's very important for you to put context. So now when you look at this, now a good prompt, now even this is still, there's still room for improvement. I just quickly made this, wrote this prompt, this context to give you a starting point to work with. So but you can always refine it. Take it like you're talking to a human being. Understand that you're talking to a professional, and if you had to hire even a business professional to work on your prompt for you, or to work on your proposal for you, if you don't give it the information the professional needs, there is no way to be able to provide something that is relevant for you. So, and that's why you break it down. Take it like a conversation. So you see, for instance, first of all, use it for brainstorming. So you see, the first step is to try to use it for brainstorming. So understanding the context. So imagine, so you see this point. Imagine you're a marketing consultant. You see, now it's giving you the context. So imagine you're a marketing consultant for this a mid-size. You see, as simple as irrelevant as this might be looking, this mid-size will help it tailor its recommendations to be solutions that will not be applied. You will not apply for companies like Facebook that are very large. It will this so it's very important to understand that this has a huge impact on the quality of response you are getting. So mid-size, if it's a startup, you can emphasize a startup. They have this, they are targeting this is the size of their workforce. All this context is very important. So they are mentioning the brand. Of course, this context is the brand, eco-friendly, made in this their target. You see, you are giving them the idea of who their target is. This is giving you an idea of what it should be looking at and why it should be making recommendations. So if it's making recommendation now, it's looking at Gen Z and millennials. So it will give you content or give you ideas that are relevant, are likely to work for this based on the public information it has there. So, and then you see, so when you look at some of these things, so just look at the quality and look at the details in this and see how you can improve the quality of your prompt as well. So now you can, once you get the context, so now maybe after running this, you are going to get I will even want you to even try to run this. Maybe try I think that would be helpful. So try right now. First of all, try this prompt. So try the first one. Try this, and I want to see. Let me even open ChatGPT here so that I would ChatGPT. So now let's try and paste this. So hey AI. So now let's paste this. So you see, it's giving you something that seems to be helpful, but you did not give it instructions. So you can see it has given you some nice ideas of what to do, but there's no instruction. So now and then I want us to try. Let me see if I can open a new chat. If I open a new tab, like, so now here, if I now open this, and I run this, so can you see that even the quality of response, you see, let's look at the first response. So you see, it just gave you random ideas. Let's see the way this one took the question. It said okay, this here, he said okay, here are some campaign ideas. It's giving you campaign ideas where the change. It just downloaded some random things, giving you concept and then telling the strategy, which is not completely useless, but it's a little bit vague. Now when you give it, see what context has done to this. Now it has structured it more like it's giving you a challenge, because in this case you are trying to structure. Okay, first of all, you are trying to identify the business goals, right? And you are trying to get so when you do this, so it's now looking at, okay, see the precision, see what you look at, see what you can look at, see the challenge. It's highlighting the challenge. Of course, you must not pick everything here, but you can get context with. And now remember that you can improve this if you go and research and check research papers, and you see what is there. You can build, or you can work. You can get better results when you add context from research papers, or from articles, or even from your own brainstorm. Maybe you already have some ideas of what you want to propose to them, and you provide it, and then you tell it to work to further refine it. you can get more context on that. So once you have identified this will be tools that you can pick. So maybe you look at it and you say, okay, you want to work with this particular challenge. The other ones are cool, but you don't think that those other challenges are very good, compelling propositions for the client. So you just look at this particular challenge, trying to address this because this is the one that applies to the client. You see, it has given you about 8. I mean, so and then you look at it. So let's just go back to it. So when you look at it, so you look at the idea. You can now next thing you are trying to do is you're trying to brainstorm the audience. So even if let's say you're trying to run an ad, or you're trying to position for an ad, or you're trying to even try to understand, okay, what audience will likely be interested in this, you can look at this target audience list and you can be refined and try to research. So look at the difference in the way you are handling both prompts. In one case you are trying to just handle it from the point of let's just get the work done and just put it one single thing, but the second one, you are the one doing the work. You are using it as a research assistant, so it's researching things for you, giving you different perspective, and that for me is a better way to use AI. So if you are using it, so using it like this, I'm just trying to highlight this things. Let me not keep it too long. Let's not take too long. But if you look at this, so measuring, and then you see, you can this is just an introduction, right? And it's not it's nowhere close to what a perfect looking prompt is, because like I said, there's more context that you can add from either research papers, from your own understanding of business. You have not even put information about what your business already does, because this particular prompt now is still weak. It's still just focusing completely on the client. But remember, you are the one that is writing proposal to the client, and it will also be very good to have an understanding of what you are currently doing, so that they write. So imagine that instead of just saying imagine you are a marketing consultant, then now imagine that you give him more context. You say this is what this company does. Now imagine you are a marketing consultant from this company and you are working for a client here. You see, this context now is now going to position itself as someone who is providing service from your company, and then that will add more context and make it more relevant. So context is very important, guys. Like it cannot be overemphasized. I would like to stop here and take questions, and also, yes, so like I said, so this is a section where you can where you can test out things and try out some prompts. So if you would want to do that, and I would like to see after this, I would like to see how you try to draft some prompts and get results out of them. If you want to use, let me just also highlight more tools for you. So if you are trying to use tools for creating graphs or creating imagery, you can use Miro. Yes, Miro is a mind mapping tool. This allows you to be able to create some very nice graphs. I think I've not used Figma too, but Figma also allows you to do a lot of things. You can create mind maps. You can create flow diagrams. You can see some of the things you can do with Miro. See, thank you. And it also has a generative AI tool. So it's very interesting to see what you can do with Miro. You see. So if you are able to use some of these tools, these are tools that can enrich the quality of your proposal, right? You have Miro. I think some of them have. I can't really put my mind on them right now, but just various tools. So if you're trying to look for images, right, you have Unsplash. Unsplash is another tool. I will look for the links to some of these generative AI tools. There are platforms that have purely generative AI content, and then you can work with tools like that. If you go to, let's say, business, if you type business, let me see, you'll find these are free images that can enhance some of the view. And the good thing is, for instance, Canva has these tools integrated to them, so you can use some of these tools. They are very free. They are free images that you can work with and get the best or improve the quality of your proposal or the structure, and just make it look a lot better. So yeah, if you are using, of course, I'm using pitch.com for my presentation. My presentation is with pitch.com. So this is another example of these are the templates. So if you like the way my presentation looks, this I'm using pitch.com, and it has a lot of slides. If your proposal is going to be a presentation, so you can just try to learn how to work with these tools, and then you will get the best out of them. So thank you. I think I am at the end of this presentation, and would like to take questions if there are any. So this I've dropped the YouTube link. If you are not following me if you're on the stream and you're not following me, feel free to follow me so that you because I will go into practical. I'll have more practical sessions where sometimes I'm walking you through no code solutions, how to automate, how to create basic automations, and then also other scenarios I will be trying to walk you through codes if you're interested in going in coding, or like building software from the ground up. Either way, I'll be working on them, and sometimes it might just be other trainings that are for non-technical professionals like you in this, like, and also blog. Also, you can follow the blog also for more updates. I'll be working on this from time to time. So questions, if you have questions, please drop them. And also I would like your feedback as well. Please just let me know. We have come to the end of the session actually. So if you have feedback, you have questions, please feel free to let me know. So that reminds me, we had an exercise at the start. So now I want you to all try this exercise. I want you to paste in the chat, right? To try craft. Everyone should craft a prompt. So now the prompt, this is the business we're going to create. We'll just try some experiments. I want to see the quality of your prompt. So now the client is let me see. Okay, the client is a transport company, right? So a transport company, a logistic. Let me put it this way: logistics company. This is a logistic company that handles interstate deliveries within Nigeria. So that's the client. So the client is based in, let's say, Lagos, and their clients, it's a logistic company. And I don't want to keep so much details. I just want to let me make it sophisticated. I understand that the full context is not there, but now write a prompt. So now I want you to first try to build a proposal for the clients to see how they can adopt digitization, because right now they only take orders through WhatsApp. They only take their orders, so they take orders through WhatsApp. They schedule their deliveries through WhatsApp. So you want to, as a business consultant, you are trying to pitch to them that they need to automate this process by having a website and stuff. So write a prompt that would help you get proposal, or whether it's a prompt or a set of prompts, and you can drop them one by one. Maybe you can drop one part one or something like that if you are breaking them in parts. So how will you go about it? I want you to brainstorm in the chat. I want to be seeing what's your response is if you are there. So if you are there, please just let me know. Just start working on your prompts before I think I want to also work on this exercise before we call it a day. So just quickly, please, just like I said, it's a logistic company. They handle interstate competition, interstate delivery, right? Interstate delivery of items, and currently they have been handling their operations via WhatsApp. But you want to help them. You want to recommend, or you are proposing that they should digitize or automate this process. So how do you write a prompt or draft a prompt and paste it in the chat that will tell me whether a prompt or a set of prompts that will help them achieve this? So let me see what you have. Okay, I think I can play music in the background. I'm not sure. Can you just react if maybe okay, just react if you are still working on it, or if not. I'm very comfortable with having or reviewing this after this call, maybe via WhatsApp or via a private channel. So, but I was let me first know if there are people working on this, so that just react. Maybe just send a love, a heart sticker or a heart emoji. Just let me know that you are working on this. Okay, it seems. Let me just wait for a minute and see. If I don't get a response by a minute, then we'll just call it a day, and I'll just come to the end. We'll come to the end of this. So, okay, I think it's safe to say we would. But I really want to see you all working or trying this out, because the best way to practice or the best way to learn is by doing. If this was a physical class, I would have had to go through your systems or through your screens one by one to ensure that everyone is doing the right thing. So, but since this is all still fine, I would want to see. I'll follow up after the meeting, after this session, and see that we have some progress, or we're making some progress. So let me know. I would like your feedback after this. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to connect with me, and yes. So drop your comments. Drop your feedback. I would be yes. Yes, that's it. So have a nice day, everyone. Thank you, and yes, see you next time.